Hey, welcome again. I'm Pat the Popper with another episode of Cardboard Conversations, joined as always by the incredible MTG Gaming Bob.
Howdy.
Hey, man, great to have you here again. I love these chats.
Great to be here as always.
Oh, look at that guy behind you. He looks just utterly lost.
He's a little lost at the
A
moment.
little lost. Well, hey, sometimes we all do. So don't fret out there in the comment section if sometimes you feel a little lost. The compasses get a little weird, but just make sure you get yourselves back on track and you'll be good to go.
It feels like by and large the community is a little bit adrift at the moment. There's a lot of negativity, and I've been spreading the find your happy message, and I'm finding my happy with our new format that we're working on for sure. It's got me very excited. It's got others excited, and hopefully when we finally unveil it publicly, it'll make a lot of people excited. I hope that that'll be the case. And it has nothing to do with the number of products or variation or really pretty much anything at all that Watsy's doing.
Right, and that's one of the interesting things. So, my real close friend, my investing buddy, came over the other day, and we went out. We're hanging out. Went to the LGS. Spent the day together, just doing magic related stuff. He's got a small family brewing up, so he's got a bit of a shift in focus, which is a very common thing in magic. And I was talking to him about the stuff that Bob and Matt and I have been doing behind the scenes with some other incredible people as well. Big shout out to James and Brody for a lot of their input. And we've got a cute dinosaur in there now as well. Hey, shout out. What up, Prime?
Yo,
Love
Prime.
this guy. Had some incredible games with him as well. And I was telling my buddy Jordan about the stuff we've been cooking up and how it's just a different way to interact with Magic in general. And the look on his face as he slowly got what we were talking about, just as someone who's been playing since, the mid 90s, this guy, it's just incredible to see the change in how we're able to play the game, more so than even Commander. It's such a big departure. And shout out everybody here in the comment section, Pack Opening Addict, Brody, we got Adam, Prime, and Dual Brain. As always, it's great to have you guys here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Love these conversations, not just with Bob, but also you down there in the section, not just now, but also later on. We've got some pretty lively people leaving comments and love that stuff.
Two brain.
Dual Brain.
I amazingly found it, Ed. I didn't find it. Actually, we had friends over and their dogs found it somewhere. And I was like, holy shit. And it just like dropped it on the floor right by me. I'm like, what are the chances of that? Unfortunately, I really just don't have space on my mic. I wanted to put it like right here to kind of give Ed a shout out. I was thinking about here too, but I don't think it'll stick long because these you can't see it, but these like screws and shit stick out. So I
Right.
don't think it'll hold very long. So I don't know. I'm gonna find a good place for it. It'll have a good home. But it's funny, when we talk about that new format that we're working on. So it's just for those in the audience that aren't familiar with it. It's going to be what we're considering a PVE format, but really what it's meant for is a wide variety of ways to interact with the game in ways that you haven't done so before. It
And
can be, and hopefully we're going to create lots of different variations of it.
oh yeah,
It can
it's
be
already
used to play
started.
test. You can play test your decks against it.
That's one of the things
Um,
I was so excited to hear Matt talk about was that it's already flowering into so many different iterations, not just
mhm.
with difficulty, ways to make it easier or harder, to have it ramp up or ramp down, but also to hear that Matt was doing some singleton playtesting against it, goldfishing in a more interactive way than just theater of the mind. Yeah, Bob, you've got a really great idea here, and I can't wait for other people to enjoy it as much as we are, and even just this infancy.
Yeah, I mean, don't. People are kind of looking at me like it's mine. It's not mine. It's a community project, and
Mm, mm.
there's a lot of discussion behind the scenes about some of the directions that we want to go with some of the administrative parts of it. However, my thoughts, for whatever they're worth, and understand, I'm just one of a community. I want to share it freely, openly, and as much as possible with as many people as possible. I would like to see it become a huge format. I don't necessarily need to have any credit behind the scenes, even. And I would just love to see the game do well. That's always been my
Mhm.
intention, no matter how people perceive me online here. Um, Selfishly, I want the game to do well into the future. I want it to stick around. I've seen so many games that I like
Mhm.
Star Wars Destiny. I thought was a great game. It's dead. There was a Lord of the Rings game that I liked. It's dead. There's so many card games that come and go, and I don't want that to happen to Magic. People are like, "Oh, it can't because it's the granddaddy. It's the big poobah." Don't kid yourself, folks. This game can disappear. It can fall off. I'm not of the same mindset that if they stop printing cards and it stops being like an actively produced game, that it'll continue healthy into the future. I don't believe so. So, I selfishly want to keep the community active and healthy, whatever I can do, whether it's words that I say to you here or come up with a new format or help come up with a new format, whatever I can do to make Magic last as long as at least I do. Um, I think that would be fantastic. So,
And I think
yeah.
that's a really good point. And we've been noticing that with a lot of our playtesting is that cards that are currently with Commander and Modern as the leading pack, that some of the cards that are the most prevalent, the most powerful, and expensive really don't even work the right way in this format. But
Hmm.
some cards, MVP so far, every time I've seen it, it's been impactful and worthwhile. Hunted Wumpus. I hadn't seen that fucking card since 2004. It was insane for it to come back. I was laying in bed the other night and I was thinking all these cards that I've seen unsummoned. Okay, cool. I had Petman's Aura when I was in high school playing that. I knew it was powerful then. Elvish Piper, Seaborn Muse, that kind of stuff's been around great then and now. But to see some cards like Unsummon be so friggin' good because instead of it hurting someone, taking their card off the board, I just saved a game piece that Rob's going to play later, so I get a benefit, and then Matt can take out the monster because we've been working in concert together. It's it's friggin'
Yeah.
phenomenal. And
Looking at
Queen's
looking at
got
Magic,
home run for the win.
looking at Magic in a cooperative way is such a different way. Even than like Commander is still you're trying to kill everybody at the table.
Hmm.
Emperor, you're on teams, but you're trying to take out the other people. Um, so true co-op it's my favorite way to play board games. If you've never played cooperative board games, go check out Pandemic is an excellent one to kind of begin with, and that will really set you on the path of cooperative board gaming. Like when I talk to people about I'm a big board gamer, and I don't want to divulge too much into that, or divert whatever you want to say, go off on a tangent too much on board games. But there's another one called Zombicide, which is just basically a hack and slash kill a bunch of zombies, but you're all on the same team. Most people, when you say board games, they think Monopoly, Parcheesi, Sorry, that kind of Risk,
Right.
but it's still competitive, right? It's still you're trying to win against everybody else. Well, in the past 10 years or more, they've been creating board games that are now cooperative. And there's another one, a great one, the Harry Potter Battle for Hogwarts, is one that you're casting spells and cards and things to help people that are on your team beat the game. And that's what I would really, really love to bring to Magic. I think there's enough mechanics in Magic to
Mhm.
make that happen. And
I
we
think
just have to we just have to keep tweaking at it.
that's a great point. And in same ilk with that, I think one of the reasons why Warcraft, the IP as a whole, the first time I ever saw it was a real-time strategy game, the first and second Warcraft games. And
And third.
it was you versus the computer. And back in the day, same with Age of Empires, you could actually land some computers together to make it a cooperative experience. Not designed that way, but you could hobble it together. Now, when you were able to switch that IP over to World of Warcraft, when it became less adversarial and more cooperative, that player base has been going for well over 20 years at this point. Well, just about 20 years. Incredible. Since I was in high school, it was alive and well, and it's still huge It's the Leviathan. It's what people in the MMO world will pit themselves against. It's the bar. And I think having that cooperative experience is what continually draws people in. You build guilds. There are entire towns filled with people that will go on raids together. So you'll have 20, 30 people going against one giant monster. And that alone is something that Magic has nothing like. Absolutely not. There's no paper playing card game that really has that. You don't play with a spades deck and go against someone else. That's just not how it works. There's always a winner. And with this, to be able to have 4, 5 winners all at the same time, everyone high fiving and sharing $5 bills for the pizza delivery, it's the amount of times so far this past week that I just stayed up till almost midnight playing this with the guys on Spell Table. I, I I'm excited for Magic in a way I've never been before. And some of the cards from Brothers War have actually been pretty good for this as well. I had a little pre-release at my house yesterday. Me and a buddy went down to the LGS, got each red and green, and we had a little pre-release event at my place. So we got our hands on the cards a little bit early, and it was super damn fun. There's some pretty cool cards in Brothers War. Bob, I know you're looking at different things, different products and releases. Have you checked out anything from Brothers War that interests you?
Um, from you talking about from the base set, or you talking about from the artifacts, or both?
I'd say both. I know you've got a great mind on collecting and some of these more ancillary entries into Magic, with those artifacts being a good example. But some of the base stuff coming out of draft boxes, the way Magic was meant to be, does any of that base set interest you?
Well, I mean, the artifacts are going to come out of the base draft boxes as well. I believe even the blueprints. And in all honesty, the blueprint artifacts are, the thing I'm looking forward to most in this. I don't really like the meld mechanic. I don't like the fact that somebody can blow up one of your cards, right? And now you have nothing. It's like that's just to feel bad, because then what? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're lucky enough to draw into your pieces, and they blow up one of them before you meld, it's like, okay, well, there's no meld now. Now I just have two cards that are not awesome on their own. So I'm not real fond of that mechanic. Cards have to be kind of singularly powerful in today's world, because it's like the party mechanic, right? That's the major problem I have with the party mechanic. It's great if you could get one of each type to be on the board for any length of time, if at all. But what's the likelihood that your opponents are going to let the piece that's going to be really bad for them? They're just going to kill one of the things that breaks your party up always. Like, you're never going to get a full party.
Right.
So it was just kind of bad by design, because you're dependent on other cards not only getting them in your hand, hitting the board and staying on the board long enough to do a thing to be really bad for your opponent. It would be dumb for your opponent to let that happen. And then when you don't have it happen, the cards are just kind of underpowered just by design, because they trigger more off of the party mechanic, or in this case the meld mechanic. So I see those kind of like the same problem when you're depending on multiple cards staying on the table for a given period of time, and all of them but one are two creatures, right? So you can kill just one creature. That's all you have to do. Kill one creature, or exile it or something, and
There goes the
then wah for meld. So it's like, I don't know, that feels bad. But there are a lot of good cards in there. I mean, there's a lot of really strong artifacts that I think, at least for the command, it feels really commander-centered design for a lot of these cards, because they are big casting costs. And I'm going to echo Sherry, and I'd really like to return, rather than to the Brothers War, even though that's kind of like the hot topic. Amen, 100%.
Yeah.
Co-op is the way to go. I tried so hard when I was in Vegas, and I had the VPs and so on, and Mark Rosewater. When I had their ear, that's what I kept beating was, you need PvE. You need PvE. They were like, I know. When they'd see me, they're like, I know, we need PvE. I'm like, I just kept beating that drum. And I even used the World of Warcraft example compared to EverQuest. That was what I went through. It was like, okay, EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, all these MMOs when they first came out didn't know what they were doing, and they were a competitive PvP environment. And they laughed at WoW when it came along. They called it Care Bear Land, but it kicked their ass. The subscription numbers within the third month were tripling the numbers of the biggest MMO out there. So there's a much bigger audience that is into casual cooperative play than for competitive play. I'm not saying kill the competitive play, but do something like what we're doing. Like, no offense, I'm kind of, the more I love this format and the more I'm digging into it, it's like WotC should be doing this, right?
Oh,
like, this is their job. Why the fuck are they not doing this?
Crazy idea. Okay, Brody, you're the inspiration for this, bro. Okay, so do a live stream of Commander Raids or whatever it's going to be called, right? And you have a slot open for entries from the comment section. So like number 11, every round it's something different, that the comment section wants to put in. Wild.
And Brody and I have been talking a lot. He's been my brosif today for sure. I was fortunate enough he gave me a couple of hours of his time, so I'm grateful for that. And I really enjoyed having a very in-depth conversation with him. And props to Mrs. Alfonso for humoring me. I know that's cutting into their time. So thanks to both of them. But he had a lot of great ideas, and what was really most impactful to me was how excited he was about it when he finally wrapped his head around what's going on. And he told me, and Brody, I hope you don't mind me saying, he's like, man, I was laying in bed last night and I couldn't get to sleep with like the possibilities of where this can go. And I really hope that that's where this ends up going in the future. And I hope to get something out sooner than later to people, because this is, I feel it needs to be for the public, if that makes sense, what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm 100% behind you there, Bob.
I personally
think that this should be something for everybody. It being a cooperative play style, it should be cooperatively developed. And that's one of the great things about having not just one or two, but now, 4, 5, 6 people kind of trying to work on this behind the scenes. It's going to be played by multiple people at a time. And the more people that get to play it, the more enjoyable it is. One of the great things about it is we're trying to have it so it can scale, whether it be one person goldfishing a deck or 4, 5, 6 people at a time. It could get pretty interesting.
We'll have to see how the scaling goes. So, I don't want to get people all, riled up and excited for it. And we're not ready, folks. I don't know how long it'll be until we're ready to share it with the world. But, yeah, when we feel that it's in a place that we're giving you something that's pretty well hammered out, we will definitely get it out to you, and it'll be free to play. It'll be up to you to build your decks and figure it out. And, maybe we'll even keep, maybe we'll make a new Discord for the players. We have a Discord right now, but that's more for the developers, people that are here in its early phases that are, trying to contribute on how the game is built, and do the play testing. And then when we finally do have a viable format for you guys, maybe we'll even make a Discord so that we can have a place to congregate and grab some spell table games and try to make a healthy community of that by itself. Hopefully you guys will want to get into that as well. So let us know, please. If you're watching this now, go ahead and put it in the chat here. I don't know if you saved the chat.
I would start playing again. I love it. And
hey man,
that's something incredible for, well, shit, man, it's been almost a year that we've been talking back and forth. Yeah, last Thanksgiving I was going to come down and hang out with you. We actually should try and get that together again for a couple of weeks. But we've never played before. And Ed, I think it would be a phenomenal experience for someone who's been around in Magic for decades at this point to get another veteran standpoint on it.
It's certainly a fresh take. I'll say that, if nothing else, even if it's not a great format, it is. That was too quick. You popped a comment up there. it's going to be a fresh look at it. And, one of the comments that we have from one of our developers is fair, that part of the appeal of it is going to be the fact that it's new. It's a new way, and that's what makes it kind of exciting. But that it runs the danger of kind of having that newness rub off pretty quickly. So we'll see where we can go with this. Maybe even constantly make new boss monsters with new abilities. And we want to try to flush that out right at the very beginning, is have a suite of boss monsters that you can play against, and you could even stack them, was one of the ideas that they had, like a dungeon crawl. Like, fine, you beat boss 1, kind of gain your life, reshuffle your exiled and graveyard back into your library, keep your board state, and start on boss 2, and keep going in a dungeon until you can't anymore. And then part of the idea, for example, is that if we could get WotC's ear, that they start developing new loot boxes, if you will, and call them loot packs, that you beat the boss, you crack a loot pack and distribute the loot amongst the players at the table. So there's just all kinds of things that all kinds of places you can go with this.
So exciting. There's so many different ways to do this.
We want to make it like a dungeon crawl too. And what Flesh and Blood is doing, according to, like, if I was interpreting what Rudy was talking about, his conversation with James White, the creator of Flesh and Blood, that they're trying to make it very Diablo 2-esque, where you're getting together, you're beating bosses, and you're dropping loot and that kind of stuff. So I'm very encouraged by that kind of idea. And hey, if we can even help WotC, like if Flesh and Blood comes out with one and starts storming the market, and we go, WotC, we've got a PvE format for you to take a look at. Some people want to get credit for that. I really don't care. I just want it to exist. I just want fun shit to be out there. So hopefully we'll do that for everybody. Speaking of fun shit, you know what I got? Can anybody tell me what I got in the audience? It's one of my favorite parts of the show. Do you know what time it is?
We pretend to, like, clink mugs together. Is that it? We're doing like a new segment?
No, but we can do that. But you're close, but not even close. I'm ready, folks. I'm ready. Who wants some sleeve cell shred, baby? I got 3 cards for y'all to look at this week. And you got to tell me, it's like fuck, marry, kill for anybody who's new to this idea, where you're going to pick one that you're going to keep forever. You're going to sell one for some money. And the last one, it hits the shredder bin, folks. Meaning, bye-bye. So here we go. Ready or not, I'm doing it. Here we go. Sleeve cell shred really early. Some crowd favorites, I hope. I hope this is a tough one. So let's get some voting going. Let's get the polls up. If you're not in here right now, well, you're too late and you missed it. Try it at home. Close your eyes. Don't fast forward. So,
yeah,
right. Who doesn't love these cards? All 3 of these cards are, I want to say, staple-ish type cards wherever they get played, right? I tried not to make it too commander-specific, and I know Blood Artist, he has a spot in a number of decks and has been around for a while. Eternal Witness, especially that Therese Nielsen art, is why I chose that one, is a personal favorite. Yeah. It's certainly the card I have played personally the most. No, Ed. No, you're cheating. There's gonna be a poll for you to click on, my friend. and Monastery Swiftspear. If you haven't been beaten by Monastery Swiftspear, well, then you probably really haven't played Modern. And I think it's also in Pioneer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or it's going to be, anyways. Didn't they just reprint it? So yeah. I'm assuming that number 1 and number 3 have probably been cards that have beaten most of the people out here in a game or two. And number 2 is just so good. If you've never played with Eternal Witness,
it's just so surprising. 0 votes for Blood Artist. No one wants to keep that sucker around, Bob. Wow.
I mean, it's a hated card, but I'll tell you what, it is a cornerstone card in an Aristocrats deck.
Oh, I've seen it do such good work. A buddy of mine plays
it's Decoy.
Deck. Hey, here's my face.
But amen. I mean, these are, if for nothing else, vote for the art that you like the best, folks.
That's a good point.
That's if you I don't know, he's making a reference. He and I share a lot of like sending back and forth links of Ozzy Man. I don't know if you've ever done Ozzy Man reviews.
Oh God, he's so
Freaking
funny.
awesome.
Yeah.
Here's my face. That's awesome. So you're just in time, Decoy, for the sleeve cell shred, but I don't think it's going to matter, to be quite frank. It's pretty much a runaway. It is a universal runaway pretty much at this point.
Yeah, this is no one's
no prowess. But I mean, I had to put up cards that were like it kind of they felt sort of equivalent to me, right? Like it would be unfair to like throw in something like Cavern of Souls here. Like clearly,
Right. Yes.
yeah, it'd be like, all right, well, or maybe like Phyrexian Altar, or some of these other things that are just all right, or a fetch land. That's probably a good one to think about in the future.
Ooh,
At any rate, so I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say we got enough votes in for the number of people.
Yeah,
Please, if you haven't done so, hit the like button. The more you guys interact with this, the more it shares, the algorithm being it, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It shares this and it gets other people interested in watching what we're doing here. So if you would please go ahead and smash that like button and sub to good old Pat the Pauper and check out Pure MTG. That's my channel. At any rate, we're going to call it on this one for the sleeve card going into our collection forever and keeping that bad mamma jamma. Well, that's just going to have to be the Ewit. And
Bob,
I
how
voted
do you
for it
want
too.
to word this last one? Is this going to be which one do you destroy or which one do you sell off?
What gets shredded? Shredded is so much more impactful than sell.
It's
like sell is like a
exciting.
thing, but like who's getting disintegrated? Disintegrate. Isn't that how it goes? I don't know. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but I've watched a few episodes here and there. Or exterminate, something like that. I don't remember. Terminate.
None
Those.
shall pass.
Whatever those.
But yeah,
weird-looking robots
destruction
are.
always seems to sell a little bit better. And speaking
Yeah,
of
which
sell,
one of these are you destroying? Boy, I don't even know which one I would destroy between these two. I gotta. I think that's the way I'm gonna go. Like that's shred something. What is getting shredded?
That you've lost to monasteries.
Whoa! I think the people have spoken, bro. Have you seen that? Did you see the update? Holy schmeckles!
86%. Wow.
people
want to kill that bad.
People don't like the monastery Swiss spear. That joker's gonna be set on fire and thrown in the shredder.
Yeah, man. I guess that's going in the pile for us to burn at the next like celebration.
So there we have it. That's our winner was Ewit. We're selling off the Blood Artist.
Wow.
And the Swift Spear, well, sayonara.
Wow. How
do you have your sleeve cell shred ready to go? Or are you going to do that a little later? Or what you want to do?
Well, Bob, I've got this selection up here for you. I went ahead. I stuck with it. I went for 3 great commanders coming out of the last year or so. Ooh, we've just got an ad for the Mr. DJ Longhair. Let's go ahead. Let's throw this bad beast up. Hey, you sexy fella, you.
Right on. Welcome to the show. First time.
Yeah.
Welcome on board.
I know. I was working Saturday. It's so crazy. So did I mix up dates or something? When is homie doing a thing?
No, that's next Saturday. I mean, we generally like to keep the show with just one guest. It kind of cuts down on the cross chatter and
okay. Yeah.
We prefer to have our guests where we can kind of focus on them, and we're going to focus on you, Big Daddy.
Oh,
we didn't get enough time in Vegas together, so I'm glad we have some more personal time here tonight.
Well, no, that's what's great about Vegas, Bob. When I met you, it was just like I've known you for like 50 years. So it's like, oh, hey, what's up, bro?
I get that. I honestly thought
Brody, close up of my messy room. Lovely.
I honestly thought that Brody was going to hug me when he first saw me. I was like, okay, well, he's going for the hug.
Well, he was like, hug. I'm like, yeah, bro, bring it in, man. What's up? love you, Brody. It was a highlight, and he was so kind. So most of you don't know I'm
Dong
like
hair.
slightly handicapped, like I'm functioning, but like I got a bum leg. So he was very kind to stand with me. I didn't ask him to hold anything, just stand with me while we get through the line. I said, you know what, it's a really good idea if this is your first day. Let's knock it out now, and wait in this 3 to 4 hour freaking line. It was like Disneyland. I mean, lines suck, whatever, but it was cool to get up to the front and order the stuff and get it done. So, Brody, what did you get? I was just curious. I see you here in chat. Anyway, hi.
Hey, it's great to have you here. Thanks
Yeah,
for stopping
thanks.
by.
Yeah.
As always, it's wonderful to talk with you, and I'm glad we got you on the show finally. Man, it's been way too long.
Yeah. Yes.
I was just gonna say, since we've got this up here, we probably got people waiting. We should probably proceed on with the sleeve cell shred. You can keep
sure.
talking. Just we're gonna get this going to get some interaction, and I'm sure that people got some thoughts on the votes already. If you have 3, you're welcome to throw them up, but don't feel any pressure to put them up. So,
well, for me, it's pretty easy for me because the other 2 aren't really in my color pie. So you already know which one I'm going to be all pro on. So,
well, I mean, you're welcome if you can pull up YouTube, or if you already got it open, go ahead and vote. We don't stop the guests and hosts from voting. So,
if anything, we encourage it. The more votes, the more it really shows what the audience and what the player base is looking to get.
hello, POA, Alfonso Prime. Just saying hi to your chat. Don't worry, I'm not taking over. Zilbrain was good.
No, good. Hey, look, this is why we have guests on. And one of the things I want to talk about is that
Decoy.
Especially having you as a guest, because really you're responsible for networking. It was a real stroke of genius and a unique thing for you to recognize that there was a need in the community to have a roundtable of sorts to get content creators comfortable with meeting together online, on streams, collaborating, and it leads to a whole lot more collaboration even behind the scenes. So you've really been sort of an epicenter of networking content creators together, and that was a real stroke of genius, in my opinion.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I honestly, I've been in sales and customer service for like ever, and networking, meeting, and schmoozing. I mean, that's you got that too, Bob. I mean, you managed to have some awesome guests on here as well. But yeah, it's mostly networking. And for me, since I just came in, not necessarily fresh, I've been playing Magic for off and on for a while, but was never my main game. It became my main game in 2018. So that's kind of when I started focusing and stuff like that. But, just in when you lack something, when you lack the knowledge and lack the know-how, and lack being able to, go in depth on a single card, what do? You go out there, you find someone that knows it, and that way you cover all your bases. And that's really what networking is all about, is slotting in holes, and I say that in a PC way. But yeah, I know. I hear Pat's like itching. I was like, oh, I gotta come back. I'm like, oh no,
You make a phenomenal point, and
when you don't,
Bob said, if it wasn't for you, I never would have met Rob. I wouldn't have been such great friends with him or anybody else out here in the comment section. Within the first couple of weeks, the first few months, I was invited onto the roundtable, and it honestly changed how I interact with YouTube. Not just, hey, I'm going to put out content. It's, I'm talking with people. I'm making friendships with, fellows that are interested in the same kind of thing. So big ups and thank you, DJ. There's nothing like
and the other thing too is that, when I started this, I did try to hit up some bigger heads. Some of them said maybe, some of them couldn't get through. And, I started off with some content creators around the same level or a little bit above me, a little bit below me, subscriber wise. And, again, you guys are way more knowledgeable than I am on, especially older cards, the market, and all that. The market interests me. I can't say that I'm like a pro at that, like at all. I'm not. I'm a complete hack, but I do like getting people together and doing our thing, BSing on the table. Lately, I've been calling in people while I do my random streams, just because it's fun to talk to someone, while you're doing your thing. But basically, we have a motto within our group, and you know it, right, Bob and Pat?
Yeah, purple drink. Let's get wrecked.
Oh God, that reminds me. I have my full drink right here, but no. The motto is
Whose
it
finger
sounds
is
funny.
that?
Yeah,
That
right.
too, but I didn't go to the island, Bob.
I didn't go.
Yeah, no. But what I was saying is that the motto I have for everyone, besides "Love you, no FOMO, and full FOMO," is we all grow big together. And oddly enough, those go coincide. Giggity. But yeah, we do. We bring each other up when we're down. We talk a lot through private channels. I have a little thingy that Tim kind of took over. Love Tim, but he kind of took it over. But we had a roundtable chat, and I was trying to do it in Discord. But we all figured it out. We get our links out to each other. Yeah, grow big together. Yeah, we do. Because I found Alfonso, I think, on Nikachu's channel and started BSing with him, and I'm like, come on. And we've helped him grow big. Grow big or
He's
go
a
home.
big guy.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of which,
like you were saying,
he said,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
What's up?
he Brody kind of gave me, I think, the most flattering comment I think I've ever had in person. And we were, so I'm going to set the scene. We're all, he was gracious enough to give me and my co-host Matt a ride back from the last day of the convention in Vegas,
Hey,
and
Pat,
we were all getting together with Dual
Cheers.
Brain Ed and
Cheers, buddy.
Prime and Stefan and some others. I know DJ wanted to be there but could not. I actually have a purple drink. Look at that shit.
Holy crap! It's purple. Purple.
It's a different kind of purple, but it's purple nonetheless.
That's
So at
just
any rate,
like-
setting the scene. So we're in his car after he makes me do this death march up like a 45-degree
That was quick.
parking lot ramp.
That escalated quickly.
Him and Mrs. Brody.
Yeah.
And we're riding in the car. He's a maniac. Let me tell you, that guy's not afraid to put on. He's not afraid to giddy up and go. And the Las Vegas, first off, the freeway is not like the friendliest. It's not the worst, but it's no joke. It's not beginner level. And I was like, well, you're about to hit the strip, and that's certainly pro sauce there. And he was a true champ of that. But while he's focusing on this maniac style driving and not getting us into a wreck, and we're talking magic, even with Mrs. Alfonso, and I'll never forget. He looks up in his rearview mirror and he goes, "Man, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I've got Gaming Bob in my back seat." I was like, I'm just a dude like all the rest of us here, but that was very flattering. Man. So I was like, wow, I can't believe I got Brody in the front seat. This is awesome. It was just a good time.
Matt Bob. So I'm pretty friendly with and get some.
Sorry,
so,
just hacking.
I'm pretty friendly with an actor, right? And he comes into my work from time to time. It's something you got to do. Got to register your Range Rovers and such. And we got to talking and BSing and stuff. And that's one of the things that he's actually always talked about in our friendship is how I treat him just like an older Puerto Rican dad. And how everybody in our interactions will come up and ask him for autographs and take pictures. And then he's got to make up some BS story and leave. And then he'll text me. He's like, "Hey, man, loved that YouTube video you sent me. That's a badass guitarist." And just that is that everybody's just a person. When you watch interviews with like Keanu Reeves and Jimmy Fallon or Conan O'Brien, they're just regular fucking guys. If anything, they cherish those personal, regular interactions more so.
Hey, Pat, Keanu Reeves is so chill. Like, I'm pretty darn chill. Everyone says I'm so chill, but Keanu Reeves is like, "What's up, bro? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So one of my
That's
favorite
Keanu Reeves.
interviews,
Carry
so
on.
Keanu Reeves had a great interview. I think it was on one of the Jimmys, and they
I
asked
met
him,
him.
Keanu, what happens when you die? After a moment of pause and deep inflection, he looked at him dead in the eyes and he says, "We'll be gone, and the people that loved us will be very sad." I was just like, holy shit, man. Like,
Wow.
yep. Fucking love
You
you.
know, I want to take a set of questions like that and ask like 10 totally different types of celebrities. Take that same question and ask Nick Cage.
Oh
Mm.
And then ask Charlie
god.
Sheen.
Oh god, Nicolas Cage.
and
So I
then
don't
Tom
advertise.
Cruise.
I
I
still want to see him as Superman. That would be so great.
Tom Cruise.
No. He was close. They almost casted Nicolas Cage. I was just
I
like,
could actually
it
see
would have been like
Nicolas
so
Cage.
bad and so great at all at once that it would be like the
I
best movie ever.
I could see Nicolas Cage playing Bizarro instead of Superman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Bizarro has always been tainted by C-Lab 2021. I love it because they have the reverse. Oh god, that is like the best episode ever. I think it's just called Bizarro. Look up C-Lab
Bizarro. Yeah, it's just
2021
called Bizarro.
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 I'll tell you
Bizarro.
one of the
Bizarro. I'm helping.
Oh my god,
What-
DJ,
one
you
of the
got me
one of the big
done.
one of the
C-Lab.
biggest
Love
miscasts
you,
in
bro.
Hollywood history has to be Kylo Ren. They absolutely should have made that Nick Cage.
Oh my god, that would have saved Disney right there.
Dude, for real.
You're all, I'll do what you did, Vader. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Totally freak out.
I'm about to freak out.
A close buddy of mine does a podcast, and I'm on there like every episode, right? And we spent 90 minutes just shitting on Nicolas Cage. It was straight fire. Oh my god, we get real lit up. We do coffee and shots back
Like
and forth
Ghost
the whole
Rider
time.
fire.
Dude, we got to the point where we were talking about how in the movie Kick-Ass, it's the
Yeah.
best Nicolas Cage movie because he gets tied to a chair and lit on
Yeah.
fire until he burns to death.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like,
love it. It was him playing Batman. It was great. It was so great.
like I hate him so much, but I watch almost every single one of his movies. It's such a hate relationship.
Yeah.
He,
Well, you
he's
saw
a
that movie
unique
that-
cat for sure.
He hasn't really been in anything recently except for that one movie that I stole that quote from, where you're Nick F. and Cage. That movie's interesting because it's him as, you know, as like existentialism or something like that. And he's like basically an actor, and he's a struggling actor, and he's got this one great line that he does every time. And I don't know, man, the movie's a trip. Do you remember the name of the movie? It just came
You're
out.
talking about the one where he goes overseas and
Yeah,
the guy wants to meet him.
Yeah, and the guy is just like associated with a family, but isn't
Right.
really. Yeah. That one, it was great. It was like
the unbearable weight of massive talent.
yes, that's where I got the your Nick. I love that. That was like, dude, when I saw the movie, I'm like, bro, I gotta find that like ASAP. Even though I gotta watch it because he cusses, but whatever. But still, it's great. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I saw
Your pleasure, man.
you guys are typically on the MTG Roundtabler, and I'm like, they're copying me, and I'm like, no, they're not. They're not. And you know what? If they are, I should be flattered AF.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
No,
it's great though. Like even if you did, I would be supportive. I know I get weird sometimes, but
Yeah.
how you doing?
Well, I mean, we had a different direction we wanted to go, and
no, I hear you.
you know,
I hear
we didn't want to tell you how to run your show. You know, it's like we're
Oh
grateful.
no, you guys told me that, and I kind of I tried to format it and it never worked. So we have kind of a natural. We're getting together. Hey, DJ, what's the topic? Boom, you guys freaking run with it, and I'm like, hell yeah, you know. Because Pat knows when you're even managing just a couple people, there's a lot you're doing during the live, so it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
always
behind the
like you
scenes,
can be on
it's just
100% on top of it.
Yeah. There's so much, like, just between, going full screen when you want to get someone to have a nice intro, you do the right amount of clipping. And even with this, the sleeve cell shred thing, there's so
Mm,
much outside of our broadcasting software that I have to interact with. Make sure we've got good angles, not just for me, and also the editorial and producing side of it.
oh yeah,
I want to make sure that when Matt comes on, his microphone is ready. I want to make sure that, Bob doesn't come on and he's too wasted to do the show. Bob needs to be calm, not too
Hey now.
wasted. Yeah.
Hey
And,
now.
communicating with guests, making sure we have the right time, and
yeah,
also choosing the right people. That was one of the big things is you've dealt with this a lot, DJ, where many people want to come and talk. And because you
mm,
have such an open forum, sometimes you get people that aren't always quite the right choice. But
yeah,
because there's, a lot going on, you have so many incredible discussions. And
mm,
we make sure maximum we've ever had was, I think, 5 people, and it was a shit show over here. I couldn't get a
yeah,
word in edgewise, and it felt like not quite the right format for me. So we've stuck down
no,
to, real couple of people, these intimate conversations. I love having these long chats with you,
mm,
talking about how you're able to, enjoy the product as a regular commercial buyer. We've
yeah,
got, different aspects on it. I love that. You're a real hardcore player. You're doing these late night EDH games every single week. Check out Mr. DJ Longhair's channel. He's got some great cards turning sideways and long
mm,
discussions as well with a lot of different people from the community. Over here
yeah.
on this, it gets pretty quiet. You know, I monologue for way too long. Bob's got to cut me off a couple of times in the comments.
Oh, by the way, we have to say afterwards because I really want to help you with your mic situation. It's dipping out when anyone else talks, which isn't bad, but you do get cut off completely if someone says like hi. And I noticed the dipping isn't as bad here, but it does on mine. So we got to figure that out. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. It's not a negative thing. It's just like we as a
No,
community we're like,
no,
bro.
that's one of the things,
Mm,
after talking with you for so long, DJ's had a lot of really good points that have helped me get my channel to where it is now. The way that I interact with the audience, the way I interact with my gear, the stuff I'm
yeah,
using and how to use it. You know, it's there's a lot that goes into it, and all props to you, DJ. Shit's
thanks,
not
man.
easy. And I know the hustle that you go through between the thumbnails. You're doing a lot of work in the art section, and then
Mm,
you're doing the clipping and the audio. There's a hell of a lot to it. And anybody out here in the comment section that's got a channel, Dual Brain knows how friggin' hard it is to get that stuff done. Same with Rob and also Matt. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's
We're still
work.
working on POA. Dang it, one of these days.
Watsy's getting a lot of free work, a lot of free labor for their product.
Oh
We're,
yeah,
we're live right now with people. It's exposure. It's free exposure for them, and
mhm.
and it thankfully it's something that hopefully we're all here because we love it. We love either the community aspect of it. We love the playing the game part of it. We love whatever it is. We love the people. Um, we're doing this because we love it, but Watsy does benefit from a lot of free work out there. I mean, I get paid a chunk of money, and I probably put, I don't know, 20 hours a week into YouTube, whether it's
yeah,
live appearances or behind the scenes work or networking or doing other things for Watsy. If they were to pay me, it'd be the decent chunk of change for the work that I'm putting in. So you multiply that by everybody that's out there. It's all the people that are in the channel here tonight. I did run that by them when I had Mark Rosewater's here. I'm like, hey, you got an army of free labor out there. You should interact with them in a more
mm,
meaningful way and kind of help guide and direct some of the direction that's going. Help the
yeah,
narrative. Help people feel like you're in touch with the player base out there.
yeah.
And we'll see how well that went over with him. I haven't heard a peep. He never even asked me for my details. So yeah.
I have a funny story for you, but I gotta fix my lighting. It was the right when we were leaving, because we left at right at 4 right after the tournament. I got to say bye and get a couple pictures with Bam MTG. Kind of passed Brody and said, "Yeah, but it was like a sorrowful, like, yeah, we're both running to the next tournament. Hey, man, it was great to meet you." And it was like we want to hang out longer, but bro, we're on a schedule. um, so as we're leaving, and I'm hobbling with all my gear, you got that. It was really difficult because I had to have the carry-on bag, so I had access to stuff rather than going in my backpack constantly. Had the backpack, my cane, and the other one, so I really didn't get a lot of pictures. I still have a couple more to put up, but anyways, there was no way to just kind of grab my phone real quick and get shots because my hands were full. But anyways, so as I was leaving, over by the VIP area, which I wanted to talk about for a while, but everyone else is going off on everything else. I know, right? I'm in the dark. Hello there. Anyway, as I was leaving, there was the VIP room, which is closer to the door to where you come in from the parking lot. And then there was there was 3 doors, Bob, when you walk in, you remember? You
I'm not
come
sure
from
what
the
you're
parking
referring
lot?
to.
Okay.
I didn't come into the
VIP
parking
area.
lot. We took an Uber every day there.
Okay, so say you came to that other door, because there's the VIP room, then there's the quiet room, right? I think there's
Uh-huh.
2 doors to the quiet room or 2 doors to the VIP, and then
Not two
the
to the
other door.
VIP. It was only one. I thought both of them only
Okay,
had
so it
one.
must
It
have
was
been the
double
quiet
doors
room.
to like the parking garage.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the
So,
bathrooms,
anyways, he
some
was
other
on
thing.
that most corner one. Like, if you turn the corner to go, into the convention center, there's the door there, and
Mhm.
Rosewater was talking to someone, and I had full hands. My buddy kind of went ahead of me, and I just wanted to juggle, maybe take a picture, but I always ask if they want their picture taken. I don't want any trouble, right? So I walked down further and I look back, and I'm like, there's Rosewater. So I stupidly waved at him. And then as I noticed that he wasn't like looking, or really he was looking at me, but not really, I proceeded to stupidly wave further. So we're talking just full on, whoa, hello. Full on, like,
Awkward.
yeah, just it was and then I acted like someone. Bro, this mic's getting frisky. Chill, bro. Okay.
Then did you pretend to be fixing your hair or something? Like,
Yeah,
I was
yeah, no, I was like, hi, and I'm like, like, and then I looked like I was waving at someone behind him, and it was just like, it looked so desperate. It was great. I was like, and he wasn't looking, and I'm like, well, I guess I don't care about their players. I'm out. But yeah, it was just funny because I was just waving stupidly at this guy, and this guy's just like, I think he was like talking, he was just like, and then went back to his conversation, like, oh, oops, I guess I'm not talking to him.
He might have been busy. I'm sure. It's funny.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure in
I
that
could have.
scenario that he's just getting bombarded,
Well,
nonstop.
no, I'm sure. Oh, I love the deer background. But it was just like I could have, but we were leaving, so it's like I could have easily gone over there and schmoozed a little bit, but it just didn't happen. Yeah, it was witness me. Look. Oh my God, I was right Rosewater. Honestly, I wouldn't talk to him.
and
That's funny.
big up for Brian. Honestly,
There's another great guy, that I got to know a bit at Vegas is Prime. Just so many great people. Ed, Prime, Stefan, and Tanya were wonderful to meet. I wish I could meet more people. Like, I really, really do. And Brody and I were actually talking about that today. So kind of I think hopefully we can make it happen this year, but
Yeah.
if not, certainly next. It feels like there needs to be almost like a family reunion style, having content creators maybe setting up just so it's like sort of the focal point, just for people to gather around at some place like Gen Con. Maybe rent one of the conference rooms at one of the adjacent hotels. We all get together. I hear you, Dilbray. I hear you, Ed. I don't know how possible Philly's going to be. It's just too close, and it's
Yeah.
holidays, just before that, and I don't know. I mean, there's only so much that I got
Yeah.
in,
To be
got in
completely
me.
honest, Bob, I would absolutely love to go to Philadelphia. My second most recent ex-girlfriend lives in Philadelphia. So I'd love to go there, take a bunch of pictures, because I know she stalks me on Facebook, and post it all over the place, and make sure not to reach out.
Well, I mean, there is that. Unfortunately, I can't share in that enjoyment with you, but I wish you the best of luck with it. But yeah, I would like to get something like that where we get to me, the idea that we could get a number of content creators all pitch in and sort of have maybe like
Bob and Pat,
let's
since we have this forum, someone said I can't take credit for this, but I'm going to run with it as best as I can. But someone said something. It's just like, okay, so there's the old guard. We're kind of the new guard coming in. So that's why a lot of these people that have been doing YouTube for 7, 8, 9 years, they're like, okay, so the new blood is coming in. I think we're the new blood because we're not Twitter peeps necessarily. We're not. We even have some. We have people from all walks of life in our group and our prospective subscribers, and I always say fans. We're the new guard coming in, Bob. So we really do have to step it up and start figuring stuff out like that, to where we can actually have a really cool like meet and greet at What's It, and hopefully between all our subscribers, maybe we can fundraise to make that happen. That way we can have we got to be on the panel, man, because we're the new blood. We're the current Magic the Gathering YouTube group. It's crazy, right? Because we're all networked and we're all set up. We should do it.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is basically get a bunch of us together because those conference rooms are not cheap. And maybe just have like the room streaming or the length of the con, say like 3 days, and we just have cameras set up that are streaming constantly for 3 days in the conference room, and just basically like we take scheduled slots, so to speak. And we just we kind of go in there and it's essentially would be like a round table, maybe not individually.
Oh no, okay, but, so remember
have
when we were talking about that with
we're in there and we're available for people to chat with us.
In MTG Attitude, we were talking with them. I was fully ready. I'm not sure on the sound. I have to work out some kinks, but I have we could set up to 8 people, and maybe have a couple of people buddy up on a mic. I was ready to carry all that gear with me, bro. Just my laptop, that thing. I know for live for sure we could do 4. I'm not sure if we can get the other 4 slots, but even so, I was ready. I was gonna bring that, because otherwise, what I have is this little $60 item, and it sounds better than that other unit. I got this thing for $60. That's when I first started using it. It sounded like I was in a tin can, and then now for some reason it improved itself. But the other one was worse, so I was like, whoa. But anyway, I was ready. I throw in the backpack this laptop right here. The cam, I did bring a tripod, and all that. I was like, we could have set up and done that if I had the foresight to bring it, but there was no time to do anything like that. It was like nonstop. I was lucky to run into you on the tournament floor, and
we would definitely need full on like studio kind of gear with mixing boards and speakers and.
Dude, I'm the king of the ghetto rig. Just to get the equipment, I'll throw it together.
I don't know. I've got a couple of bucks. I'd like to not ghetto it out if possible, but that's something to think of, something to consider. But but more the idea is to sell the idea.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. And get the buy-in, see what the interest in the community is. Then somebody, like, it all takes work. Like, you guys know this. Like you just said, it's real work, folks, to get out there so that we can bring us to you and bring you guys together in a way that's meaningful to all of you out there. And those are just some ideas that are like kind of starting to bubble up. It seems to be that I'm gathering information and ideas and trying to coalesce those ideas into something more coherent.
Yeah.
But if
I
we
think
can
we're
make
going, Bob.
it happen, and certainly I'd like some input from some other people. I would love to have, potentially a mic stand for somebody in the audience who wants to get up and ask questions so that people can hear them online. Maybe have a few different cameras for different angles in the room. Have it live streaming the whole time. We'll have to have some form of security so you don't have somebody just run up and snatch cameras and mics and whatnot.
Yeah.
I
have a
but
great
I would,
idea.
I
What you're talking
have
about.
enough chairs and seating, for people to comfortably sit in there and listen to us blather on. We'll need some sort of projector screen to like have, some sort of visual aids. Visual aids always do well. But real, kind of legit presentation type of room. So
So we all
hopefully
have
we
like.
can make that happen.
I was just thinking we should get one of those cheap mic stands, that are really short, and then put that so people have to.
People like to interact.
Yeah,
People don't
okay,
just like to
sorry.
be talked at. Clearly, like look in the chat. People love this format because they have a voice. They don't just have to sit and watch, Rudy spit a video at them without being able to ask questions and interact with us. So I think having that real time live in, face to face. Everybody was so enthused to meet face to face. It's just a natural thing. We'd love to meet all the fans face to face if you can make it out there, and really have an interaction, face to face with a lot of the YouTube fans out there. I'm doing great, Pause. Doing great. Thanks for stopping by the show.
Hey, Pause.
So anyway, something we need to like really sink our teeth into, and unfortunately, like we have to think sooner than later because Gen Con for next year starts like. Like the hotel rooms you have to nab by like January. They start releasing the hotel rooms in January. And then you have to have like if you want to be in the program that they send out, like as a vendor, which would kind of be sort of where we're at, you have to have all that submitted well ahead of time, like now kind of.
I see.
If you want to be part of that, in August of next year.
Really so I'm on the Gen Con website right now. And honestly, this looks like it would be a great time. And
it's massive.
I've never been to Indiana before. I've got a buddy that lives out there, and boy, oh boy, I'd really like to make this a thing. So if you guys are interested, not just you here on the show, but down in the comment section, if Dual Brain, Prime, Brody, you guys feel like meeting up next year, let's make it a thing. That's one of the big things about being an adult, is that, and I don't mean that as adulting, but the social aspect. If you say, oh, hey, I'd like to meet up sometime next week, you'll never meet up. If you say, next fucking year, Gen Con 2023, I will be there Thursday, the 18th of October, those kind of things. That's how you make shit work. And that's how, DJ and Bob did it. They were, hey, I'm fucking going. I'm making this shit happen. We're going to Vegas. This is where I'm staying. This is how you get a hold of me. That's how you make plans work. So, boys, I'm pretty damn interested. I want to go to Gen Con 2023, and I'd love to see all of you there.
Yeah. We really, the problem is that we have a lot of people that don't use certain social media. No one uses the same social media. People don't like certain social media, and that's what it's there for, is to get like a page, even a chat or something, Discord. I tried. Glad that Dual Brain took initiative and made his little Vegas section, but I just couldn't gain interest or people that were aligned in the same like social media, whatever chat program. So it was really difficult to get everyone together in one spot and go, this is the Vegas thing. Let's plan this and map this out. These are what's going on, the events, the times, all that. We just couldn't really get it together there, but hopefully we can for Gen Con. I mean, that would be cool. Get it all together. Hey, we're meeting up here. We're all meeting up here at this time. Let's do that. No one's in a tournament. Cool. Let meet up here, and then we can figure it out from there. That would be great.
Well, and that would be the great thing about having one of those convention rooms nailed down. So imagine this. So there's the convention center, but outside of the convention center are hotels kind of like in a ring around it that have like those skywalks to the different hotels. And all of those hotels have conference rooms. So there are literally hundreds of conference rooms attached within walking distance to the main playing and vendor area in Indianapolis, right? Downtown. It's downtown Indianapolis. Now parking's a bitch down there. Oh boy, it's one of those things you should really look into. It's a madhouse, and there are more people there than were like 5 times more people go to Gen Con than went to Magic 30. It's Magic 30 was like 10,000 people.
Yeah,
Gen Con's at least 50,000 or more. So it's much bigger.
Yeah,
and it's almost
Okay, so I'm on Gen Con's website, and this has just sold me 100%. Okay,
why don't you share it?
This is what's happening. I'm gonna go ahead.
Share it.
I'm gonna try and do the share thing. It's super easy for me to do. DJ knows how incredibly easy it is to share live.
oh, so easy.
Man, this is
well, we need to do like Dual Brain does. We need to do like Dual Brain and have one of those the hell it's called Streamlabs push button deals.
Yeah, Stream Deck. I've been
Stream
looking
Deck,
at one for like ever, and finally one of us got one. I'm so jelly, Dual Brain. But
so I'm pretty sure I'm sharing a screen here from the Gen Con website, Gen Con Indianapolis 2020. It's going to be Indianapolis, Indiana, August 3rd through 6th in 2023. So just a bit less than a year. Kids playing stuff, sponsors and partners. Official beer, official wine, and then official card game. I'm fucking in, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's massive. It's almost
dead cardboard.
It's almost overwhelming. I mean, it really is. And there are a lot of drinking events, but it's so massive that, like I said, having one of the even if it's just so long as it's close by one of the hotels, if we can find kind of a cheaper because we're not made of money.
Speaking of which, Bob, we had a deal because homie had points, but we were 12 miles off the strip, so it was a little bit of a journey to get to the convention, but it was so nice because a lot of people had rooms on the strip, and they're playing that music till 4 or 5 a.m. Full blast, and if you're in one of the cheaper casinos, all you're hearing is that. You could barely hear the TV. It was nice where I was at. It was quiet. We had a big room. And if we all managed to book the whole same, I don't know, cheap-ish hotel, that would be cool because we all just like, all right, hey, 10 o'clock, the bus is loading up. Everyone hop aboard, and then we all either do a party bus over or, get a big Uber, like a couple vans going. And then that way we can set up and do a bunch of stuff at the hotel that's quiet and, all carpool to the thing.
One of the things I do
I feel you. But
whenever I go overseas, I actually do Airbnb, and it's a phenomenal way where, depending on the party size, you can actually rent out an entire house. So that might be something worthwhile for us to do. If we're going to have 6, 8, 10 people all get together for this, us renting out a small place. Recently, over the summer, me and a couple of friends rented out a mansion, $1 million house on Moosehead Lake in Maine, and it was barely $200 or $300 a head. Because of the rate, everybody's getting in on it. So that might be something that we want to take advantage of as well, where we can all be hanging out in a really high-class place, and we don't have to worry about neighbors or drunk meth heads coming in to try and get some ice from our doorknob.
What?
I am really going to probably try to get one of the hotels that's connected to the convention center.
Yeah.
But and Ed, I see your comments, and I don't want to ignore what you're saying. Yeah, we understand that life's going to happen. There'll be people that try to commit and get to the event, and just shit gets in the way. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I mean, seriously, to be like getting into serious Bob adult mode.
Yeah,
we'd have to have a list of people willing to commit this far out. Have like an amount already drafted up. We'd have to have the venues already picked. We'd have to submit that to the the people that run Gen Con to try to get it into their brochure, which is the size of a damn small phone book. It's like tens of thousands of events over a 5-day period. It's massive. It is massive. I think we may essentially already be too late, to be quite honest, to like make it that formal. But these are the ideas I want to get the people here thinking about if we want to try to make it happen the following year, right? It's, unfortunately, the adult thing is you have to plan well in advance. You have to have money laid out well in advance. It's, we need to get studio equipment. We need to be prepared for at least 8 to 10 people on a round table panel type thing and have all the audio input for that hooked up to a reliable computer of sorts, or maybe multiple computers.
Okay, so
multiple cameras with stands and angles.
They are still open for booths for next year. It seems kind of limited, but first-time exhibitors is 1,685 for a 10 by 10 booth.
But that's just a booth, and it's going to be noisy as fuck. So, trying to stream from that would be a nightmare.
Yes.
Not really.
Yes.
Hold on. There is a way around it. You still will pick up some background noise, but we need to get hooked up with, if we just got a bunch of Shure mic 58s, they cut out, like, I have my fan going. You guys can't hear it because it's unidirectional. You have to be on top of it like I am now. But if we all had this mic, not a condenser mic, we can make it happen. Hook it up.
We ain't doing it with a 10 by 10 booth. We ain't doing more than two people at a time.
What do you think Whatnot does? Whatnot does that. They were set up and they were doing live sales.
Oh, but they had a footprint of like at least 50 by 50. Like their footprint was massive. He's talking about $1,600 a day for 10 by 10.
We got to start small, man. Come on. A booth would be
10
amazing.
Dude, is really small.
at least, if anything, Bob, on the floor, we would have a spot. Like if Brody has been running around, he's exasperated. He's just like, bro, there's too much to catch. Do you mind if I leave my bag here even? and we'd have all a hubbub in the middle of the floor that us content creators can get behind the booth and, watch the booth, talk to people. We would get some printed stuff. No, I could see this working, man. If anything, it would get us out there to hand out our business cards and other things, and maybe get Dual Brain to bring his wheel and have a little wheel even. I think that would be phenomenal, because what are we selling? We're selling us and you to come on free. Hit the subscribe button and the like button, like you should right now. If you guys are new to Pat the Popper's Cardboard Conversations, you guys should get on that. Smash the like, and of course the subscribe if you guys are new here. But just to get that subscribe and like button, bro, it's worth it, bro. If we all had the booth there, and we'd be spreading the love and the knowledge, and the hey, come hang out with us,
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility, and we should definitely get something drafted together for whatever we would want to do. And count me in. I'm going to Gen Con. I would still like to get a conference room, because in a conference room they're large. You're probably
also
talking
very expensive to rent.
Sure, potentially, but it gives the people a place. In a 10 by 10 booth, you're not going to have a crowd gathering. It's just there's no way.
And I can't imagine that there's going to be a line of people that want me to sign things or even say a little blurb of text for them. Hey, Pat, can you read this horrible thing for me into my phone? I don't know how many people want to stand in line for that action.
And at most you'll have 3 content creators on at a time.
Yeah, that's fine though. For us, that's beautiful. Because
again, I'm down for whatever. I'm all about making more interaction, making more of the G in MTG. That's certainly needs to be more the focus right now, because there's too many people focused on setting WotC on fire, and we need to get more focused on what the game was really about. At least when I first started, and it is to me still, it's all about the G, folks, getting together. Let's have fun getting together.
Yeah.
Putting cards on a table, turning them sideways. That's what this is about. And talking about doing that same action and talking about the state of things. And people have the right to be upset about certain things. But when it dominates the conversation, when it dominates what the whole genre has become, I think it is both a disservice to the game and ourselves to not realize, it's a game that we all supposedly love, and we need to get back to focusing on what we love about it.
Yeah.
So by getting together, I think we can share that message. Because let me tell you, of all these YouTube content creators lately that weren't fucking there talking about how miserable and what a disaster and how awful and evil and bad, I didn't get any of that. Like how much did you see when you were there walking around on the floor of unhappy people that wanted to set it on fire and just bitching about the whole thing when you were there?
It was a dull roar. People, if you brought it up, they weren't happy about the 30th thing. They didn't really. They're just like, yeah, but I'm here to play, so whatever. That's kind of the feeling that they had. More people were excited to be able to gather and actually play said tournament. So I was on the tournament floor a lot. So it was a big win for me because I was handing out cards left and right. You know me, I'm a big ass promo hoe. So and that was cool too because it was right there. People were lined up. You were doing your deck and BSing. It was fun, man. And everyone just kind of, there were some serious people there on the tournament floor, but at least people were open to talk and socialize because, you got to remember a lot of people were locked in for a year or almost 2 years in their house. So a lot of people were excited to be out, to be able to go to a convention. The negativity, I really didn't feel it that much. And just like with me, with the whole M30 thing, it doesn't affect me. You obviously priced it at such a price point that, I wish I wish I was more well off to have that $1,000 to consider not buying the Magic 30th. But it didn't affect me, so it didn't matter. I was there to gather. I was there to meet people. I was there to schmooze and network and just
rub elbows,
You talking about these?
Get hugs.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, I get that, man.
Is this what you're talking about?
I can't see it. I can't see it. You're on me. Yeah, those things. Yeah.
Oh, when we talk about 30, this is not Magic 30 to me at all. This is just a product that's controversial and I could give two shits about. When I say Magic 30, I'm talking about the convention, man.
Yeah,
I'm talking about what happened with a product. I'm talking. I didn't see any upset people there the whole time. And no, I'm not just talking about in the VIP lounge. As a matter of fact, probably some of the most sour people I saw were in the VIP lounge, and that's because they thought they were signed up for events, and they actually weren't. But then, in all reality, the events just got in the way.
Addict,
no, fun. It's not a dare thing. It's just not my thing. I mean, you're welcome to buy one and open one, but that's not my thing.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what I'm going to do with them. I have a whole shitload of God. You guys, my house would drive you nuts. Then, I mean, I got cases of sealed product of a couple of different.
What you need to do, Bob, is you need to buy more of them and just make a table.
I mean,
or like
you guys,
a bed out of
do you want to see how bad it really is?
Yeah.
You want to see some of my sealed product? There's a sealed product for you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait,
get those lamp packs.
And more sealed product and more sealed product and more sealed product.
Yeah.
It's just why I open product for a reason. And it's never to like just scratch and win. Sometimes I just open it just for cathartic, for something like, oh, that's kind of cool. Well, you know what, Decoy? We still have to get together and crack a box of, Double Masters 2022. That's like been on the slate. I tried to ask you the other day, but I was like, when are we going to get together and just open things just to be silly with pinkies up? And we do. Decoy is one of my pack opening buddies that we just open boxes for shits and giggles.
Wow.
And it's not to make money, but it's kind of funny. But yeah, I know you do. That's what I'm saying. We still have 2022 that we haven't opened. It's been like months. I'd like to do it maybe in 2022, but it might happen next year. At any rate,
that's one of the funnest things, though, Bob. Like I was saying, just yesterday, me and my closest friend went down to the LGS, picked up some pre-release boxes, and just sat around my table, token up, drinking down, and having a fun time, making up decks and opening packs together. And that's a huge part of Magic. is what we do off of screen. A lot of the ways that I enjoy this isn't
See,
on
that's kind of a
camera.
challenge, Dual Brain, and I know the box I want to open with you, and it's probably going to shock a lot of people. And I
Uh-oh.
want to do it for
Homelands.
purely nostalgic. You are actually super close, DJ. I
Fallen
mean,
Empires.
super close. Oh God, no! Fuck that. No. A fun box to open.
Yeah, I'm down, Dual Brain. That'd be sweet. Crack.
I want to open
box.
some. I want to open a box of Ice Age.
You know,
Oh, I saw a box the
Oh.
other day for sale, and I'm like, holy nostalgic, brosif. That was wow. Like
you know what I want
smell
to
the
crack.
cards and just the whole 9 yards. Somebody that would kind of appreciate that.
You know what I want to crack is I didn't get to experience it at all because I wasn't actively playing at that point in time. But I'd love to crack a Lorwyn. I mean, I know
wasn't playing
it's
then.
better, huh?
I was
Yeah,
not playing
Well, there you
during that
go. So
block.
you and I would be experiencing that for the very first time. That would be amazing, but it's expensive.
Yeah, so if you can nail a box, maybe we just split a box, Ed, and
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
we'll just rip wrappers, and let me know if you find a good price on an Ice Age box. Now would be kind of like the time to start looking.
yeah.
But
Before
that
they're
would
gone.
be if I'm cracking an old box. That's really, because it's kind of a who gives a shit. It's like I don't know what $1,500
Yeah.
bucks after that maybe.
Yeah,
And
it's the same. Like
it's not like opening a box of Revised where you're going to go from 13,000 down to like 1,300.
Yeah, no, I hear
Curse of
that.
Saga. So
But-
Ice Age is one of those kind of, and if I get I even know what I want to hit minty fresh out of there. There's 2 cards. One, Pat knows what it is for sure.
oh,
And the second one would be an
Mystic
Icy
Remora?
Manipulator. What's that?
oh,
I
nice.
want to say Mystic Remora.
No,
Bob, that's
No.
my card. Don't take this from me.
no, not Mystic. I said you should know which one I would want to hit out of Ice Age. It was the card to have at Ice Age, if that gives anybody a hint. Does anybody know what the primary card, the number one card people wanted out of Ice Age when it first came out?
Icy Manipulator.
See, I knew Ed's the man. Yeah, baby. Jester's cap.
Oh,
that was-
okay.
The cap was the cat's fucking meow. People were trading like 2 dual lands for a Jester's cap back then.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah. Dude, that was no joke. Because you could get dual lands for like $5 a piece. And I remember Jester's cap being like $25 to $40 when it came out.
Interesting.
It's like, ooh, that's the one you want to have. So yeah, people were trading dual lands for easily a couple dual lands for Jester's cap. They were trading real shit, Arabian Nights, you name it. It was Jester's cap was whoo.
Yeah, I had a
That was
subscriber.
the
I didn't
big
really.
one.
I
No.
have it somewhere.
The cap
but,
was the one to have. That was the one everybody was hunting for, was the cap.
yeah, when I
that
first
heck-
started. Oh, go ahead.
Hecatomb was probably the second most sought after. Necropotence wasn't even that big, but it was Jester's cap and Hecatomb. If you hit one of them two, man, people were oohing and on.
Crazy.
At least like at release, yeah. So Deflect was a big card. It's funny, I still have a few Deflects in my binder because of what it did. It was such a neat effect. It was so it was so blue.
Different.
Such a blue thing to do.
So that's actually Jester's cap and some similar crazy cards have been coming up a little bit in the format that we've been cooking up there. So we had a recent discussion about Teferi's puzzle box, how that might be actually really helpful. Like Font of Mythos, Bob, you had played that a couple of times, was
Yep.
really helpful.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's incredible to go back and look at some of these older cards and how with Commander, they're getting a total different life and breathing new energy into Magic cards all across the board, state possibly, with some of these old entries in an environment where you're playing with people against a monster. There are cards coming back from ages and ages ago. So I'm actually going back and looking at cards from 20, almost 30 years ago now that are better than they've ever been before because we get to play.
Yeah, Weird Harvest. Weird
Yeah.
Harvest is a great one. New Frontiers is a great one. Collective Voyage is a great one, for this format. It
Hey,
gives
Bob.
Group Plug a viable spot. Yeah.
Speaking of which, this one would probably be key in there. And I just picked this one up from Anger Collections. I don't know if you can see that. Man.
Can't. It's a Heartless
Hitasuku.
Well,
But basically, especially if you had haste, man, it's a 5-drop for a 4/3. You tap it, deals damage to each player equal to half that player's life total rounded down. Now this says each player, so that's everybody, but that is like a gnarly. Like if you have a boss that's 40 life, and people have life gain, bam, you can knock that down to knock your boss down to 20, make it easier, or depending. I'm just saying, this is an interesting card. It does affect you too.
It's one of those moments where, like in D&D, you set off a fireball in the middle of a room you cannot get out of.
Yeah.
It could certainly be like a kamikaze pact. All right, well, we're all going out.
Yeah.
So it's the new type of red aggro where everybody gets hurt. Like everybody, my friends and my enemies, the true battle rage.
No.
We're all going now.
No, it is that way, but think about it. If you had a bunch of cards that created more combat steps, it wouldn't kill everyone because it would be rounded down. So if you're at 1 life, it wouldn't do anything to you. But can you imagine if you got like say you have 2 big boys coming in for 4, you got that guy, you tap them, knock everyone down half, and you're still going for the attack. You do your couple licks, then you do it again, and then you got your boss down to like 5 damage, but you got 10 coming in for the kill. It's just like, bro, I think that'd be a sick card to mess with. Granted, everyone is doing okay and won't get hit next turn with something, But I'm just saying, if you did that back to back combats, you just knock them down to nothing. It would
be interesting to give it a playthrough on the on a play test for sure, and that's what we want to encourage. So bring it if that's what you want to try to do.
I don't know. I've
not the direction I would take, but
cool. It's interesting.
Hold on.
A lot of build up.
Do I delete this? Am I supposed to like stop him from commenting on the channel? Like what happens here?
Hey,
I don't.
Hey! It's a BBD sighting.
Oh man, I don't have the original clip. I could have shared it so we could say hi, Dave.
Well, hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. I'm not even trying.
You gave me that, by the way. You gave me that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So big shout outs. Tom MacDonald. He's kind of controversial, but god damn, motherfucking can rap.
Oh yeah.
But Dave, it's great to have you here. I don't know if it's Dave. It could be Jay. It could be some random guy.
Evil Dave, maybe.
Way, it's great to have you here.
It's great to have everybody here. Let me. I really do appreciate everybody's time. I say it over and over and over again. Time is the most important thing that any of us have. Rich, poor, fat, thin, big, tall, ugly, pretty. Time is blind to all of that, and it's the most important thing that any of those people have. And I appreciate you giving your time to us here. I really sincerely mean that.
Yeah,
and I'm happy to share my time with all of you. So thank you all very much for showing up in the audience. It's makes me show up every Saturday.
And I got to get right on that as well. Honestly, same exact thought. That's one of the reasons why Bob and I get along so damn well, is philosophically, we're quite similar. And we understand that, much like the leaders of the world, we only have 24 hours a day. So thanks for taking some time for you to come here and just listen to us talk about Magic, and maybe you put yourselves down in the comment section and you get to take part in it with us. We get to share this experience together, and I appreciate the crap out of that. So thanks, yo.
Here's my face. Yeah, no, I do love having people here. And I appreciate DJ you taking your time tonight and blathering on with us here online as well. All talking shit about a game. We're just we're all assholes with mics and cameras on YouTube. So that's
Yeah.
you know,
No, and I appreciate everyone and their kind support for my channel and coming here. And again, we're all like growing big together. I know it's such a weird thing to say, but it is because you guys, Pat, you've picked up. You're past that 1,000 mark. We got to get Bob going. A couple of these smaller YouTubers have on. I'm like, dude, let's pump them up. Let's get them going. You know, I didn't have that opportunity when I first started, so now I'm. You know, we're doing that opportunity for these people, and it's great because everyone gets in the community, and it's just like when I meet people that I've seen on the roundtable, it's like I've known them for, you know, at least 2 years. But yeah, like you saw that, Bob, when you and I met. It was just like, oh hey, what's up, Bob? You're like, oh hey, how's it going? And it was just like we were in it was like we were in the same tournament together. We're just like, bro, sorry, yeah.
I am speaking for myself, Dave. I'm sorry.
What happened?
He said, assholes with mics, speak for yourself. Yeah, I guess you're not on anymore, are you? Oh, throwing it down at you.
Oh,
but no, I respect your hiatus. You know, there are times we all need to kind of step away.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
But you know, it's great that we have a community. It's great that we have this opportunity. I'm glad in my old age that, you know, this is even a thing. When I was growing up, this was not even an opportunity. You know, to have YouTubes, have internets, have all this stuff. So I'm grateful that at least during my lifetime, I'm able to do this. I mean, think about eons past of, you know, people not able to have this opportunity to get together in a way and connect with people all over the world. And I love our fans all over the world. Shout out to Savannah Lion, even though he's not here tonight. I mean, wow, what a dude to, you know, stay up in the middle of the night just to show support for us here from time to time. And that's, you know, huge. So, yeah.
So
the Browns do still suck. So
Pat, who's all going to Gen Con? I know Bob is.
It's not set in stone yet.
You know, I'd love to go. Let's see. Ooh, August? Oh, fuck. You know, I probably can't go because of work obligations.
Hey, Adam. Yeah.
The rollout for the system I'm helping design is in November. And we're going to be doing end-to-end. I'm not going to be able to fucking go. There's no way I can do this. I'm not going to be able to do... Yeah, I can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck.
Well, I was saying you looked up the table, and I'm like, well, we have X amount of time, but...
No, that's a huge... So I'm doing the best I ever have in my whole life. I've got this great job that I'm super enthused and engaged in. And I can't miss out on the rollout for this system. I'm on our testing team, and it's really big. As much as I want to go, fuck, man. Bob, I want to see you and shake your hand and, like, do this. But, bro,
there's always next year. And that's really more... You know, gauging the interest, and then when we can make it happen for whomever, I still intend to go to Gen Con this year, hell or high water. I know that Lance from Cothern Cards lives like right around the corner from it, so you know he said that he'll be there. Or I guess Moonshot Rip and Ship. Some of you might know it is now.
Yeah.
Let me look.
Whoever can make it, and then if it's a thing that we can make happen,
3rd through 6th,
like
that's
on a more
3 days, maybe 4 at the most. Fuck, Bob. If I ask now, if I ask this far ahead, this is a big toss. But Bob,
just
I want
to come out for the weekend.
Yeah,
just come out for 2 days.
I'm gonna do what I can. I want to be there so goddamn bad. I'm gonna make sure that my boss makes sure that I can make this happen. Let's fucking go.
Again,
let's fucking go. Like we said, let's not leave things to the air. A ship with no direction gets nowhere it is intended to be. So let's me and you be bosses and put that shit on a calendar.
Well, I mean, I've been saying it. I'm still saying it. I'm going to Gen Con. Whoever wants to meet me there, glory be.
You got
Join with me. Come to the dark side.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, you might be wrong, Dave. They have a very healthy Magic presence there. I would say when I was actually at the last Gen Con that I went to like 4 years ago, I called it Magic the Gathering Con. So it had a massive presence there. It was, for those of you that aren't familiar, by the way, Magic premiered at Gen Con. That's where Magic first was released, was at Gen Con in 1993. So it's really kind of the home of Magic the Gathering. So at any case, it's close by for me. It's convenient. It's got a lot more to do if you have spouses and children. Magic's a very specific and focused sort of environment and not as appealing to like a lot of the misses or children out there. But at Gen Con, you got board games of all ages. You have cosplay contests, panels. If you're familiar with LARPing, do you know what LARPing is? They do a lot of LARPing there, and you can build battle bots and battle them there. They have battle bot contests, and they have art contests, and they have just all. I mean, oh my, it's mind numbing. What's there? I don't even know what's all there. They have Real Dungeon, I think is what it's called.
So who's
So
where
where
you
you
Gen Con?
What's that?
DJ, now that
Yeah.
you're monetized, DJ, we could go ahead and set up some live streams, some donation kind of GoFundMe situations.
The-
One of the
yeah.
things I loved about Moxman is how smart his marketing always has been. And I'd love to see you do a dedicated 5-hour stream to get your sexy ass out there to Indianapolis.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, let's do this. Paz is in a similar situation to me. He's got a better job, but I'd love to get Paz out there too. Like, get me and Paz out to, two different sides of the world. It'd be great to have Paz there and me there and other people there. So kind of a fund that we could collect into outside of YouTube because they take a decent cut. But have someone manage a PayPal for a little while and figure out get tickets for me and Paz to go. So I'd be totally down for that.
And as crazy as it sounds, I hate the idea of traveling all over the country in a van. It sounds fucking terrible. Getting a Winnebago and filling it with sweaty Magic players, real gross. But at the same time,
Party bus, bro.
Coach lives like 10 minutes away from me. Me and him get in an RV. We could keep going south. We pick up the beautiful man that is Pause. Keep going south. Get the MTG Attitude Boys. Go out west. I could see that being a fun time.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the MTG barbecue, bro. I'll host it.
The thing is, we are currently about 9 months ahead of time. That's a whole baby, if you don't drink, ahead. So we could go ahead and make plans and get this shit to happen. DJ,
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank God. I thought that. Okay, so if you guys want to go ahead and get this shit for real, put it in the comment section below. We're gonna bring this up a whole bunch of times. Let's fucking go.
It's actually, I think it's a 5-day event. It usually starts on Wednesday and finishes on Sunday.
No, we have time, and Adam makes awesome custom cards if someone can get them to the printer. But if we had someone that lived close to there, we should get one of those glass cases or like a small glass case to where we all make special Magic cards of us and have that in the glass case like we're a fancy vendor. That would be amazing to have on the thing. And, people can take the cards. We'll print up some so everyone can have a card. But I just think that would be great, like an actual panel of all us content creators with our happy little mug on a card, and then act like it's like Black Lotuses or something. That would be beautiful. But yeah, if someone was local, they could get that said glass case, or we can all chip in and have them hold it and bring it to Gen Con, because trying to get that through I don't know, on the plane is kind of a I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that sounds cool.
Lance.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I
Near
think it's
there.
a bit of an ask, honestly, to be able to do the booth for the first time. But I
Yeah,
think that we might be able to enjoy it more, honestly, if we as creators, pardon, ooh, double up, were able to
nice.
go and see some of the other people there. I think we'd have a bit more lively experience and honestly be able to get to see more, interact with more other people there versus kind of being more stationary. I know that that's probably a lot easier, but at the same time, we could certainly figure
No,
out.
no, it's not in
Uh-oh.
Ohio, BBD. It's in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, Bob.
It's only 2 states over.
Well, for
But
you guys could carpool there. I mean, that's awesome.
1 state over. 1 state over.
Yeah, no, for me,
Uh,
I have to fly out. Driving out would take forever, so I don't know about that.
Well,
But
so that's
That's like a
the
4-hour
flip
drive
side.
for
Like
me.
I was saying in the comment section, flying out, it'll take me maybe 12 hours, 16 hours for
mm,
the whole deal. You know, get a trip from Burlington. Again, I live in Vermont. It's fucking Vermont. So I can drive and drive and drive and
oh,
spend
it
the
was
better part of
King
almost
Casual.
two
Sorry.
days getting there. Or I could do it in a quarter of the time. So I've kind of always preferred to just fly there and figure out rides kind of
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, that makes sense. But I'm for it. Yeah,
They all look the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been out there once. It was actually when WotC had the Star Wars license. I made it out when that was a thing, and they just came out with Star Wars miniatures. So I went there solo, and I did have to get a taxi over back in the day when there's no Uber. But that was fun, man. I was out there for like 3 days and got to play the tournaments, and it was good times. Honestly, I would love to go again, even though that game's dead. But yeah.
I think that Gen Con, I think you actually hit it on the head there, Pat, that maybe that's a bit ambitious to try to get a booth or um uh, oh God, what do they call it? The rooms, the conference rooms. But for the first time, I think that, if we're going to go there as content creators, we go kind of scope it out the first time, see what it's all about, so you can wrap your head around it, and then formulate ideas based upon that.
But Bob, we do have to get it going soon because again, we're like third wave, and it's going to be us and our fans that are going to be the Magic peeps. We can get some first stringers and some second stringers involved, great. But I mean, it's us, man. We're the community, so we got to get on it soon, man.
I mean, it's not up to me. I'm just one guy, and I'm going to Gen Con.
I'm sorry, I was just looking at you because you actually have money. So.
Well, that's a thing about
Yeah.
being a leader is that we
No, I'm
sit
just
down,
kidding,
you
Bob.
know, we gotta be the ones that stand in front. So I'm saying it. I want to fucking go, and I'm far enough ahead that there's no realistic reason my boss couldn't give me the goddamn time. We just had a meeting. It was pretty much him saying, "Hey, we're not going to give people a bunch of time unless it's for something crazy or blah 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 blah. If you already bought tickets, so I can make this
You,
fucking
you
work."
may you may have to fly though. I mean, that will save you
Well,
time.
honestly,
A
Bob,
road trip is,
I'd rather fucking fly because the more I fly, the easier it is for me to get acclimated to being an airplane because I am planning on living in Southeast Asia within the next 20 years. So the more often I go over there, the more I'm, ready to be in an airplane for long stretches. I got a buddy who lives just outside of Indianapolis, so this should be a fucking great time. Haven't seen him in ages, so as MTG as dude put it, let's do it.
I've
Yeah.
been saying it. I'm still saying it. I'm doing it. I'm committed to it, and I've just suggested it'd be another great place that we as content creators and friends and community can get together and gather, and that means the fans too. Hey, start looking into putting it on your calendar if you want to meet up with us and spend time, and you don't have to be a content creator to do this. That's sort of what this is all about. Is
Oh, shit. Yeah,
creating
absolutely.
more opportunities for people to gather that couldn't do it otherwise in person. So I'm letting people know long time ahead of time that I plan to be there.
All these vendors, all these incredible different creators, whether it be an art format, whether it be creating a new system for role-playing games. There's so many different things I've seen checking over on this Gen Con website. It seems like an absolute fanfare for so many different things. And I've never been to something this above and beyond. So, shit, man, I'm quite excited for this. So, I'm looking forward to doing it. Let's make this happen.
You know what we can do there?
Loving this deer, by the way.
We can.
Oh,
Oh, you got rid of the deer.
yeah, no, I was pointing the deer, and you're like, "Let's blow you up." I'm like, "No, I'm just pointing." Oh, that
Just
deer
trying to
though.
tickle.
You know what we can. You know what we can do when we're there?
Huh?
We can play Commander. We could play the PVE. I don't know what to
Yeah.
call it because we don't want to call it Boss Commander.
Yeah,
But we can
Right.
play
And that's we've been
in
kind of
person.
outsourcing a bit for names, whether it be Commander Raids or Deviant,
we'll
there's
just
all
call it
sorts
Raid Shadow Legends. There you go.
of Raid Shadow Legends. Soon enough, it's going to be on every YouTube video. So Raid
Right.
Shadow Legends 2, Banner
Hey,
Lord, is in a
I'll admit
terrible
it.
name.
If they're gonna pay me, man, I'll post it. Hell yeah, let's go.
Well, a buddy asked me once, he's like, what if the president said, I'll give you $1 million if you suck my dick? I'd be a millionaire in like 12 minutes. It's-
I don't know about
No.
all that, but there's a price for everything. So
exactly. And the low price of
We'll
liking
call
to
the format
make
Bob
these
for
videos,
president.
yeah, Bob for president. Yay!
Bob for president.
Boss
Well-
Monster Bob.
Yeah.
It's like that scene from Team America World Police. You can trust him. He sucked my dick.
Oh god.
But in all
Oh,
honesty,
that was
Wow.
what
yeah,
we're
and
talking about is as far as entry points when it comes.
think
to
we're- I think we're
monetary
devolving.
value, this
Yeah.
is something that we are specifically creating to share with everybody. Commander's not monetized except for the fucks at WotC. The format itself is open. You've got a whole bunch of cards. Play the game. Have fun. We want it to be like that. Something that you can enjoy getting into. And if the Ivory Tower fucks go ahead and realize that it's so fun that they can create a way to engage with it too, well, let them have at it. But until then, we're having a blast designing it. So everybody
I'd love for them to
can
engage
do
with
it.
it.
Everybody can have fun doing it. And I'd love for us to be able to have some of that action out in Indianapolis.
I would love to have WotC actually recognize and pick up the format and interact with it, not for self-gratification, but I would love to see it aimed squarely at the LGSs and help the LGSs stay afloat. Give people a reason to go to the LGSs. Like I said, I'd have them have raid packs or loot packs or boss packs, specifically for the format if it becomes very popular, and
I'm
that
a
they
big
can
fan.
only get those only exclusively through an LGS. Like, I think that would be
So these loot
that'd
packs,
be amazing.
These loot packs, can we please call them Bob packs? I think that would be amazing.
No, we can't call them Bob packs.
Why not? You kidding?
No.
We're all in battle to win a Bob pack
Again, I don't do any of this in all sincerity for any kind of recognition. I don't even care if I'm monetized. I don't. This is my catharsis. It's my free time to be able to jump onto a mic, talk to people that are willing to listen about something I like to talk about. And I like the interaction. I like the camaraderie. I like the subject. I don't give two farts if I ever make a penny off of Magic. That's not where I get my money from, folks. And I don't want I don't want the format to become monetized or about money. I want it to be about fun. I want it to be about inviting people into the format, about inviting people into Magic as a whole, about getting a realistic starting place for a much wider community to access Magic that are currently just not interested. To be quite honest with you, where a large part of that sort of fell into my vernacular came from Sherry Vegas, because when I try to get her to play, she says, "Oh no, I hate that pew pew I kill you game." That's how she describes Magic, is this
Wow.
pew pew I kill you. And I had to think about that. Like, when you're teaching somebody brand new, right? You have two options really to kind of teach somebody brand new to Magic how to play. Number one, You sit there with cards flipped over and you kind of teach them how to play, and you either let them win or you crush their face. Neither one of those is very gratifying for a new person coming into Magic. It's just not that exciting. And if you're trying to invite somebody into like even a commander group, either the whole commander group has to go easy on them, but it's still the problem of being in a competitive head-to-head sort of format, and people that have years of experience have a decided advantage over new players, period. I don't care what you say.
That's
So,
so true, Bob. When
the
we
PvE is just a great way to get rid of that.
Yeah, our pods had a real big issue trying to figure out power levels. I've got a YouTube channel, so I have tens of thousands of cards in the room I'm sitting in. I've got thousands of dollars in singles, open, ready to rock, put in sleeves. But if I bring that to the same thing that my buddy that has 3 kids and a wife that nags him all day and fucking night, he can't bring the same power level I can. And a great way to have this more evened out is that he's not my adversary. He's the limping companion in a party that's trudged through a dungeon so it can kill Shadowmoor, this beast that's invaded the land. That's one of the huge benefits, is that the 11-year-old at the game store that bought his first deck off the internet can still have a good time because I'm overpowered, and it doesn't ruin his fucking experience with the game for ages to come because I wrecked him. No, I carried his hand all the way to the end of a treacherous trek through this terrible torment of a topsy-turvy terrain.
Well, and beyond that, like in a game of Commander that's competitive, if you do one thing, like oftentimes it's like, I just want to do a thing. I don't care if I win or lose, but okay, I got my one thing done. It's much more gratifying. Like if you're sitting there and your deck's not great and you really haven't had a great game, but wow, I have this one, bounce that, hunted Wumpus back to his hand, saving move that got all of us rebuilt in the board state and we won on the next turn. Even if I didn't do shit the whole rest of the game, I made a crucial play for the team and I contributed to the win, right? And you can feel that gratification in this format. Whereas if you do just one thing in a game of Commander, you're probably not going to win. You have to string a bunch of things together to win in a game of regular competitive Commander. Whereas in this format, hey, you might only make one play, but it might have been the one play that
changed
made us all win.
Exactly. Maybe I was the one building a trebuchet to take down those castle walls, but DJ's the one who brought the stones and flaming pitch so that we could load that bad boy up to conquer this beast. It takes a whole party for this to work. And I love that aspect of it, is how encompassing it is for other deck builds as well. If I've got a life gain deck, yeah, maybe I kind of putter, but I stick around for longer. So I can sacrifice a little bit more, make my plays help other people that are pure aggro, keep getting board wipe. Like we were playing with James. Yeah, baby, you should turn all those cards sideways. You're going to get wiped. What happened? Fucking got wiped. And that's the thing. I was able to help out next turn afterwards. So it's that give and take. Boy, there's so much to it. And I love that it's an ever-evolving format. Still in its infancy phase.
Definitely tell it's evil, Dave.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll have more coming for sure. And I hate to say this, gentlemen, but it is getting late for Bob here. You're free to carry on without me here. But I'm afraid I'm gonna have to.
Pat, when we finish this, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so when we finish this, But man, I want to say, guys, thank you so much for bringing me on. I mean, I literally rolled out of bed, but it's great to see a bunch of cool people and hang out with you guys at any time. I mean, that's what I went out to do, is create a huge MTG family, and we made it, guys. We made it. It's awesome.
And speaking of MTG family, I'm actually trying to get into a game of Spell Table here with Pack Opening Addict here in just a little while.
Okay.
So I think this is a great point for us to go ahead and close up the conversations tonight. Is there anything you guys want to go ahead and plug for a bit or talk about on some closing notes?
Yeah, I gotta get a shower in and make some food, but probably in a couple hours. I'm gonna work on the thumb. If you guys want to come hang out on my channel, I'm gonna be trying to pull a bunch of black cards to mess around with the Necron deck. So if you guys want to give me some pointers and hang out and chill, by all means, in about a couple hours. So probably I want to say 7 my time, so it'll be late, but whatever. If you guys want to come and hang out, that'd be cool.
Yes, we have a big announcement, Pat, which I'm kind of surprised we haven't really talked about it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
next week, that's 11/19, November the 19th at 7 p.m. You want to be here if you like Commander. We have a super special guest coming.
Oh, yeah.
We have Gavin, I believe it's Duggan,
That's what I'm going
who
with.
was a co-creator of the Commander format. He's currently on the rules committee. I was fortunate enough to play with him, play Commander with him for a couple of hours in Vegas. He was just an awesome guy. And he was a co-creator along with Sheldon Menery all those years ago for the Commander format that everybody plays. And he's actively on the Commander rules committee. So get your questions in line. Be here. Tell your friends. This is going to be, one of the cardboard conversations for the ages, for sure. We want as much support as we could possibly get. I don't often pander to you guys, but I'm asking you, please be here. If you like our show at all, show us some love and support. Get some friends to show us some love and support, and be here 7 p.m. next Saturday for Gavin Duggan. And please get your Commander questions ready. Whatever you want to ask the guy, be respectful, please. But he will be here. As best we can tell, he's committed, and it's one of the most exciting things that I've done online. I love all the people that I've met, but he was just awesome, and I'm very excited to be able to have him on as a guest. And I'm shocked that he actually agreed. So, it's a big opportunity for us. It's a big opportunity, I think, for all our fans and anybody who likes Commander to have access to one of the rules committee guys and the guy that helped, basically was a co-creator of Commander to begin with. So he's a very smart guy. Anyways, please be here next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for Gavin Duggan.
Nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Bob. I don't know how I omitted that out of our show notes here, but I'm super excited for it. And I mostly and realistically only play Commander. Last night we had some kind of pre-release stuff to kind of fill the gap so we could get some cards for our Commander decks. And one of the things that we're going to talk about at length is some of the new stuff that we're creating behind the scenes. So, if you're looking forward to some game craft and theory with Magic the Gathering as the central point, make sure you put some of the comments in the section below so you can get them answered live next week. And we look forward to having DJ there with us as well. I can't
all right.
wait to have you ask some of those incredible questions down in the comment section.
Yeah, for sure. I will definitely, unless I'm working, I will be in the comment section for sure. But I'd love to join you guys. Oh, one more thing, guys. Speaking of plug, if you guys go into the community section on my channel, I have a vote right now because it's shaping up how I'm going to do channel memberships. If y'all could just go by and click a vote, I would really appreciate it. It's just, I want to be full transparency and all that, and that will help me out a lot. Just take a minute, go over there, put a vote in. There's 4 votes that you guys could do. That would help me out a ton, and it costs you nothing. So if you guys can go over there and do that, I'd appreciate it.
All right. Well, this has been an absolutely
Heck yeah.
great show tonight.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for
happy
having me on, guys.
happy to have everybody here. Wow, it's definitely time to go. So happy to have everybody here and grateful. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Pat and DJ, for entertaining me tonight.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
everybody in the comments, thanks for coming.
And a big shout out to Alex from Ashen Wings for the help with these new thumbnails. He gave me a link to a website, and boy, oh boy, I feel as though that's helped, up the game. So
Nice.
everybody else out there, not just in the comment section as people consuming this, but also to help produce it behind the scenes, you know? Shout out to the whole community.
Yeah, definitely. One love and yeah, the whole heart thing.
Yeah.
You
Find
know,
your magic happy.
Yeah. That's
Find
right.
your magic happy,
Hey.
folks.
Hell yeah.
Bye, y'all. Catch you
Bye.
next week.
Peace.